Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to our channel. Are you ready for a bone-chilling tale that'll leave you wide awake at night? If so, you're in the right place. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling stories. Now, let's dive into tonight's terrifying tale, The Night Shift Nightmare. When darkness stalks the halls, Mark had always been a night owl, so when the opportunity to work the night shift at St. Hilda's hospital arose, he didn't think twice. He had heard the whispers of the hospital being haunted, but he shrugged them off as mere urban legends. Little did he know that the darkness lurking within the hospital's walls was far more sinister than he could ever imagine. As he stepped through the large, creaky doors on his first night, Mark couldn't help but feel a slight shiver run down his spine. The dimly lit halls seemed to stretch on forever, and the flickering overhead lights cast eerie shadows on the wall. The hospital, once bustling with activity, was now a desolate shell of its daytime self. Mark's job was simple: patrol the halls, check on patients, and ensure that everything was in order. But as he walked the corridors, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. He could hear distant footsteps echoing through the halls, but every time he turned a corner, there was no one there. The air seemed heavy, suffocating him with an unnerving stillness. As the nights went on, Mark's unease only grew. He started noticing strange occurrences. Doors creaking open by themselves, whispers in the dark, and a faint smell of decay lingering in the air. Despite his growing fear, he was determined not to let these ghostly happenings affect his work. One fateful night, Mark stumbled upon a hidden room deep within the hospital. The door was covered in dust and cobwebs, as if it hadn't been opened in years. Intrigued, he turned the rusty doorknob and stepped inside. The room was filled with old medical equipment, long since abandoned. The air was thick with a musty, fetid odor that made Mark gag. As he explored the room, he discovered a series of journals written by Dr. Crawley, who had worked at the hospital in the early 1900s. The journals detailed gruesome experiments and unorthodox treatments performed on unsuspecting patients. Horrified, Mark realized that the hospital's dark past was more sinister than he could ever have imagined. The tormented souls of the patients who had suffered at the hands of Dr. Crawley haunted the halls, desperate for revenge. Determined to put an end to the haunting, Mark took it upon himself to confront the malevolent spirit of Dr. Crawley. Armed with his newfound knowledge, he ventured into the heart of the hospital, where the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. In the pitch black darkness of the hospital's basement, Mark came face to face with the terrifying specter of Dr. Crawley. The ghostly figure was grotesque, its eyes burning with an unholy rage. It lunged at Mark, a guttural scream echoing through the halls. Mark fought back, reciting an ancient incantation he had found in one of the journals. With each word, the spirit of Dr. Crawley grew weaker until it finally dissipated into the ether. The hospital was now free from the darkness that had plagued it for so long. Though the haunting had ceased, Mark could never forget the horrors he had witnessed during his time at St. Hilda's hospital. The chilling memories of tortured souls and the sinister experiments conducted by Dr. Crawley would forever haunt him. As time went on, the hospital's haunted reputation began to fade, and the once dreaded night shift was no longer feared. However, for Mark, the darkness that had once stalked the halls would always remain etched in his mind, a chilling reminder of the evil that can reside within the most unsuspecting of places. And there you have it, dear listeners, the chilling tale of the night shift nightmare. When darkness stalks the halls, did it send shivers down your spine? If it did, Be sure to hit that like button and share this story with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling tales that will keep you up at night. Until next time, sleep well if you dare.